There's some kind of fetish with street dudes because we mistake them as being more masculine. I really wish that women would stop putting street dudes on a pedestal. And I mean, you see how Glorilla's song, she was talking about the type of dude that she wanted, and that's cool because she's selling you an illusion. And don't get me wrong, I love that song. I like Glorilla, but she's romanticizing and sexualizing the type of guy that you keep saying that you don't want. If we actually held ourselves accountable for the type of men that we chose, I don't think we would keep romanticizing men that are in survival mode.
I got to say, I agree with her 100%. You know what I'm saying? Not that I believe that street dudes are more masculine or nothing like that, but I believe, you know what I'm saying, women go after these type of guys because, like I said, the thrill of their lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? They love the thrill, they love the excitement. You know what I'm saying? This guy's life is more fun. They just love the bad guys, and it just is what it is. The majority of women like the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? We seen that growing up through our life. Uh, Now I say this like shit, you know what I'm saying, as far as the accountability thing, I think they need to start holding some accountability, you know what I'm saying, to start, you know what I'm saying, dating better guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not saying there's nothing wrong with street dudes or whatever. Not trying to talk about nobody because you can't help the situation or whatever you grew up in. It just is what it is. But what I can say is this: it's like shit. You know what I'm saying? When you date these guys, you got to understand and be prepared for certain things that come with this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like uh, most street dudes drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman dealing with him, you know what I'm saying, he already selling drugs or whatever. They fall in love, whatever, and then they mess around, have kids or whatever. It's only two ends to this road only end two ways: jail or in the grave. So at the end of the day, if you do you want to deal with this type of situation, you got to ask yourself because you can't be here for the lifestyle and then that's all you here for. And then the moment he get jammed up, go to jail or something like that, then you out here trying to get another one. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you setting yourself up for failure at that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's what comes with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, the women that fall in love with these guys is drug dealer after drug dealer after drug dealer. Before you know it, you 40 something, and ain't dudes ain't really thinking about you like that. So I agree with her. But let's see what else she got to say in the video.
I've actually never dated a street guy that was very protective. It's a complete myth that they're more masculine and more protective, and they're actually more combative, and they lack a lot of emotional maturity because they're in survival mode. They're not trying to love you. I don't care how many black movies that they create where the love is so toxic, and then for some reason, especially in the black community, we romanticize these toxic relationships, and then we romanticize these guys and say that we want this Russell Wilson Sierra type of love, but we're never going to get there if we keep talking about we want a hood dude. Especially if you're not a hood chick, they see you as naive and gullible. Don't let the hype fool you where they're like, "Oh, you're wifey material because you speak a certain way and dress a certain way." The only difference is that hood chicks know exactly what type of time a street dude is on. There is nothing that you'll understand about a person that can analyze, observe you, and know how to get what they want from you because where they're from, there's less resources. Their survival mode makes you navigate differently through life. And I know this because I've experienced this. If you don't come from struggle, the way you view the world in relationships are just different. So if you're from the suburbs and people, and you speak a certain way, you have a certain disposition and demeanor, trust me, you do not align with no street dude, and they see you as silly and naive.
Facts. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. When you don't come from a certain lifestyle or come from a certain, you know what I'm saying, background that these people come from, like these street dudes or whatever, you probably wouldn't understand them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're from the suburbs or whatever. Like I said, but most of them be wanting the bad guys, and then they go get in these situations, and it's called really destroying your future. You know what I'm saying? I think if women thought more about their futures and not thought about the present so much, then it'd be better for them. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you what's your future with a street dude? You know what I'm saying? Overall, like I said, he got two roads for him, cause jail or grave. So if And then you got some that make it out. Not trying to say all going whatever, woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Because some that turned into rappers, some that turned into actors, or basketball players, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those were a few blessed people amongst millions. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so you can't really make that comparison. If not, then you searching for a needle in the haystack. Because at the end of the day, bro, that just ain't happening that often. You know what I'm saying? Uh, when you from the suburbs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like these the type of dudes like you need to be trying to get with, especially if you talking about you looking for a good man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because not saying the street dudes ain't good or nothing like that, but it's like life itself. You know what I'm saying? Because these could be great dudes, but at the end of the day, you're a product of your environment. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, eventually you going back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to stay in a situation where you got to look over your shoulder? Because that's what street dudes doing. They worried about the police. They worried about the people coming to rob them. They worried about the chicks, goddamn, trying to play them or whatever. Woo woo. You got to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if he out here hustling, he moving around, he dealing with women, whether they fine, they beautiful, whatever, and they offering certain things to him, and he only a man. He might not be able to turn anything down. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. And that's just like I said, the lifestyle of a street dude. You know what I'm saying? Versus you go over here with this suburban cat. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he go to college and make some of himself. Really have a you know what I'm saying great future, whatever. Y'all could come together. Y'all could come together and have real stability in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because overall, I think in you know what I'm saying later in life, that's what you're looking for, stability. You know what I'm saying? I do get it. The younger ones, they chasing whatever they chasing. It just is what it is. But later you start thinking about, hey, look, I want somebody to be here, you know what I'm saying, have kids with. I want a husband, I want a home, I want all these great things or whatever you feel like, you know what I'm saying? And then you could have him with this dude over here because he done went off and made something of himself versus trying to deal with this street dude that had the same thing with him. Like I said, he mess around, get jammed up, now you with another one. Then that one, Lord forbid, if you having kids by each one of them, you making it worse for yourself because most men just ain't coming in. You know what I'm saying? This, come on, welcoming everybody. They taking care of everybody else's kids just don't work that way. So, uh, the less chance you dealing with street niggas or having babies by them, so to say. You know what I'm saying? The less you doing that, the better chances you have at succeeding in a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because the suburban kid, 9 times out of 10, he should have a healthy relationship, especially if he grew up seeing it. Like you know what I'm saying? He grew up with his mama and his father, and they was together, and they did certain things, so he got a chance to see what it's like to be a man from the father, and he got what it's he seen what it's like how you supposed to treat women. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the street dude ain't growing up with none of this. You know what I'm saying? It's one sided. 9 times out of 10, he was raised by his mama alone, pretty much. The father off in the wind or whatever he doing in jail, so he hustling or whatever he doing. The fathers weren't there, so the mama sitting there trying to raise these kids, and at the end of the day, these kids growing up, they need role models to look up to, and 9 times out of 10, they first role models be the older street dudes in the neighborhood or a rapper or whatever. Even if it is rappers or something like that, guess what? They ain't talking about number street shit, so they gonna gravitate towards this. And once you hit them streets and you fall in love with them streets, I know, trust me. Once you fall in love with them streets, man, it's hard to get you out them streets, bro. It's hard to erase that mentality. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and like you were saying about looking at you like you still, I don't think all dudes look at suburban people like they dumb or nothing like that, but you do got dudes out here that do manipulate women or whatever. Ooh, that's just part of it. And I think that ain't got nothing to do with suburban or hood. It's just that certain people be at a certain level and they feel like, hey, I could come over here, I can manipulate this person, and then I'm going to use you until I can't use you no more. That's just part of it. And yeah, of course, street dudes do that because I done seen them go get with a woman. They know she on Section 8. Woo woo. He get up and then know the rent basically free for real. He gonna hustle and stunt and act like he balling forever because she living rent free at the end of the day. So I done seen that too. So it's true to a degree, but that could be any man for real, or business or whatever. But like I said, I gotta if I have a daughter, you know what I'm saying, I look at it like this, and not saying I'm wrong the street area because I come from that. Please don't take it that way because I'm not talking about nobody in no negative way. It just is what it is. But I would want my daughter to be with the guy who went to college or went off and made some of himself, got his own business or whatever, and then she could see what life's supposed to be like, and not this guy that come from a traumatized lifestyle, and she got to go deal with him and deal with all that trauma he bringing. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I would want mine over here. You know what I'm saying? And I think women need to start pick and bury men. You know what I'm saying? They claim they want this great guy. They looking for a good dude, but all of the good dudes be them. Like I said, them suburban kids ain't really went through that. And then they get with him, and now he a lame. He a sucker. They can't deal with him. He ain't manly enough. He too easy going. He a yes man. He whatever. Any excuse to say, I don't want to deal with him. And then go get with a roughneck, and that man ain't shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, pick better dudes. At the end of the day, everybody ain't got to be the savage lifestyle for you to fall on. And I can't tell nobody what to like. At the end of the day, it's up to you. That's on you. But if you want a healthy relationship, I think the kids that had their mother and father, and I think you could get it better from them than you can a guy that's traumatized. Because if one of your parents ain't in your life, you're gonna be traumatized to a certain degree. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.